So, coordinator of chaos, who called and what are they telling you? The most normal thing, or a sort of example of it if you want to.
Yeah. First thing in the morning, somebody may call and...
First thing in the morning, did you get that? Right off the bat, trouble comes my way. Did you hear what he said? He tried to be clever about it, but he said, first thing in the morning, I was doing so good. I was driving my car. I was feeling so good. I walked into the den of awfulness, and it was awful. First thing.
And somebody may call and there may be a project that has fallen short, maybe a permit didn't called in, an inspection didn't called in, or someone, was this an accident, or there's all kinds of craziness that actually happens.
We're going to tell your story. So I'm driving happily to work, and when I get there, first thing in the morning, I get a phone call of somebody asking me to do what I'm being paid to do. Now, really, I'd rather work for a place where they didn't need anything like that. Because
right.
Really, I'd like to just sit there all day and reflect on the drive I had in.
Yeah, you're right. That's correct.
So what if, because you know the potential of that, so what if you found the feeling place of being so good at your job you are, and how when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, which we know it's hard to do if it gets out of balance right away, or it's hard to do when somebody that you've really been noticing often doesn't do what they're supposed to do. And you've given yourself the label, not just coordinator of chaos, but cleaning up of everybody's messes.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do their job? If they'd just watch what they were doing in advance, I wouldn't have a job, actually. I wouldn't have a job, actually. You're getting the drift of where we're going with this.
I know.
Satisfaction. Satisfaction is on the other end of all those, of grief and boredom and loneliness. Satisfaction comes from only one place. It comes from moving in the direction of something that I've identified that I want. So there are two things that really goose up satisfaction: making more clear statements and identification of what you do want, and then focusing more on that. But rather than trying to define what you want, because it's chaos. Do you ever hear yourself saying, I didn't even know that something like that was possible. Just when I get everything fixed that could possibly go wrong, they think up new stuff to break. It's interesting how it happens, isn't it? What if instead of feeling like that, you are just feeling confident? You walk in there, you've got the feeling place of being good at your job, and you've practiced feelings of interest. You like to be good at what you do. For a while, Esther, this was a long time ago when cars were different and there were buttons that you locked your car with up on the top, and people were locking themselves out of their cars all the time. And Esther was like a genius with a hanger. She could get any car opened within just a really short period of time. She was so good at that. She had a hanger in the car. And everywhere they went, Jerry and Esther, they were always together, there it was again. And one day Jerry said, I'm leaving that hanger home. I'm just going to leave it home, because everywhere you go, there's something for you to fix. Well, he had a point, because the law of attraction is like that. But the point he was missing is, ooh, isn't it fun to do something helpful when somebody's in a jam? Don't you like to have a solution? And doesn't it seem logical to you? Oh, we've never said this before. This is a credit to you all. This is a new statement. The problem and the solution are both in the room at the same time. The problem and the solution are in the same room at the same time. And so, isn't it logical that solutions are what you're looking for in your expansion process? This isn't a flaw with your job or a bad thing with the job. This is you getting to be the creative genius that you are. All right, so now we have to tell you something about your inner being. You were your inner being before you came into this physical body. Some of you have heard us say that to you before. Pure positive energy. It's source energy. It's God force. That's who you were. Then part of that was focused into your physical body. You were so eager to come forth and explore the variety, to sift through and know what you don't want and know what you do want. And when you know what you don't want, you launch a rocket of desire. It's like you're pointing, whether you can speak it or not, at what you do want. And your inner being, who remains non-physically focused, the largest part of you is non-physical. Far and away, the largest part of you is non-physical. Like you're 1%, not even. The larger part of you. But you in your physicality are a high percentage of your inner being, because your inner being is so interested in what you're about, because you're the leading edge of this expansion. So as you explore and know what you don't want, you launch this rocket of desire, and your inner being focuses upon what you're asking for solely. Your inner being doesn't resonate with the lack part of the stick. Your inner being goes right to the solution. And because your inner being never does the resistant part, because your inner being is absence of resistance on these subjects that you are exploring, the attraction power is indescribable, because the only thing that slows down the law of attraction's ability to gather up cooperative components is resistance or opposite thought, of which your inner being has none on your behalf. So this huge desire that you've put over there into your vibrational reality, we call that your vortex. A vortex. Esther heard someone describe, was a commercial talking about a vacuum cleaner, a little duck one that you can put in your kitchen drawer. It's little, it's not bigger than a bottle, and it's got this wonderful vortex that causes suction. And Esther thought, oh, that vortex is gathering up the cooperative components, isn't it? This vortex of attraction is gathering up the cooperative components. So when you have the opportunity, with the help of someone who's calling the hotline, the chaos line, when they introduce to you a situation, you launch with greater clarity. Sometimes you've launched that same rocket many, many times, so there's a lot of momentum already going, but you're adding to it right now, and your inner being knows exactly what the path of least resistance is immediately. But depending upon how you've presented yourself to all of this, you might not have access to the solutions that your inner being already has, we're not kidding you, instant and immediate access to. Your inner being knows where you are at all times, knows where you are in relationship to what you want, even the things that you think you just hatched. Your inner being is out ahead of all of that and has been gathering up the cooperative components on your behalf. Talk about a coordinator of chaos. Your inner being has sifted through all of that and gathered up all the nuggets that you want, and is focused upon all of them and made them ready for you to discover once you accomplish a vibrational frequency that lets you be a cooperative component to where all that stuff is gathered. That's the best that's ever been said. So now, don't you want to say, what have you got for me? That's what you said to us. You sat down, you didn't say anything, and you said to us, are you ready? Well, don't you want to pick up that phone? What do you got for me? What have you got for me? Because you are the reason that I exist in this seat. You are the reason that I earn what I earn and do what I do and fix what I fix and love what I love. You are the reason. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. What is it? What is it? What is it? That's how you want to feel. And I'll say, oh no, I got a new one for you. Oh good. Oh good. I'm so bored with all the crap you've been bringing me. Oh good. Something new. Something for me to sink my teeth in. Something for me to really focus into being. Something for me to utilize all my skills. Give it to me. That's what you said. This is tender for us, because you are like our babies who came forth into this world, and that's what you said. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me, contrast of planet Earth. Give it to me, chaos that I'm jumping into. Give me the reason to focus, because I know I've got backup. Give me the reason to focus. So the feeling place that you're reaching for, oh, doesn't it feel good when that solution starts kicking into place? And doesn't it feel good when you get a beat on something and then others sort of join you at the table? Doesn't it feel good to be a collaborative group of forward-looking improvers? Doesn't that feel good? It sucks terribly to always be focused upon the problems. But when you get oriented toward the solution and all this source energy starts kicking in and you find yourself knowing things that you didn't even know you knew, right place, right time, good timing, things clicking into place, permits that weren't looking like they were working, work. You've experienced that many times. We don't know where you gathered up that chaos coordinator, but that's not the way they think of you. That's not what the position that they ask for. They think of you as expert at solutions. They think of you as extra good at that. You are extra good at that. You're better than anybody that's ever been in that seat. You are extra, extra, extra good at that because you drive to work happy. But it could be so much more, couldn't it? Enough?
Enough.
We really enjoyed this. Really good. That's really good.